Now, what is restructuring? I repeat, what is restructuring? Restructuring is taking power from the center and you share it amongst the states and regions. I repeat, restructuring is taking power from the central government and share those powers amongst the states and regions. That is why it is important for people to focus on their regions. Yes, as an Igbo man, focus on the development of your region. As a Yoruba man, focus on the development of your region. As an Hausa man, secure your political space and focus on how you can use the powers that will be made available by the reforms and restructuring of this government. By the time President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is done with the reforms, power will be minimal at the federal level, then the same power will be made available at the regional level. That is why every region has to put his or her political or institutions, economic institutions, every region, whether you're in the southeast, the south-south, the southwest, and the north. You see, one of the reasons why North would never want to support restructuring is because the North is not designed, is not prepared for restructuring because of their leadership. Buhari and the APC, they campaigned in 2014 saying that restructuring. When Buhari entered power, they started speaking another language. Tambuwal and Co. Were trying to explain to us what restructuring is. They're trying to tell us that what you mean by restructuring is different from what I mean by restructuring. Now, Tinubu came in, he put out 3 reforms, critical reforms. And this reform, the only way we can experience development in Nigeria is when power is given to the people, to the states. Nigeria is not united. We are diverse people. We cannot sustain this kind of government whereby a Fulani gets to power, he starts favoring the Fulanis. Yoruba man gets to power, he starts favoring Yoruba people using federal might. Look at Delta State. The oil well in Delta State is mostly owned by outsiders because of the system of governance we are practicing in Nigeria. So the most important thing is that every region and state needs to prepare to use the power that will be given to them, because restructuring is a must. Don't let anybody deceive you or divert your attention. The Atiku and Co are saying that Tinubu is this and that. If you would put Nigerian politicians under a scale, investigate Nigerian politicians, none of them is a saint. Don't let the Atiku and Northern Nigeria use all those their politics and push agenda that Tinubu is this. We all know, but we are focused on restructuring Nigeria. Nobody is distracting anybody. The Atiku himself and the people with him in the ADC, if they put them under scrutiny, independent investigation, all of them will be found wanting. So what is the essence of telling us that we know that these guys are criminal entities? But what I am concerned about is the only way Nigerians can experience good governance and development is when the country is restructured. And we know one group of people that does not want Nigeria to be restructured. You see, Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, or Nigeria's division, we know one group of people that does not want Nigeria. Anything that will make them, the Fulani have been able to insert itself on, or impose itself on Nigeria's leadership to the extent whereby if Nigeria is restructured or divided today, they will be one of the greatest losers. I tell you politically. The North is not ready for restructuring. That's why you see them, they will drag their foot left. For instance, let's look at state police. The North is riddled by insecurity, religious extremism, ethnic clashes. So, state police, implement state police. Indigenes of the state will now become part of the state police. Maybe 60% of the state police. The insecurity northern politicians, the terrorism northern politicians are using to leverage and negotiate for power will not be there. And they will be more weaker politically. I want to ask this question. Look at an average northern politician. What does he bring to the table? Like, when we say, okay, southerners, northerners, we are compete for power on a fair ground, on a level playing field. What would that northern politician have as an edge over a southern politician? What? If not for the terrorism, if not for the religious extremism, the violence, hatred, and division. They capitalized on the division of southern Nigeria, the Fulani and the North. They capitalized on the division of southern Nigeria to be ruling the country. They were happy that southeast, south, and southwest, they were not in good terms. They were happy. So the North, they say we are one, Arewa. They use that Arewa to take positions in this country, to impose themselves, to infiltrate the system of government. So the North today, if we start rolling out reforms that will lead to restructuring, the North will be at the receiving end. When you introduce state police, just look at what Sunday Igboho did in the southwest. How many years that we have had insecurity in the southwest? The Nigerian army did the current system, the army, the police, and everything. Every time they will mobilize this one, forest rangers and everything. At the end of the day, the attacks, the killings keep on increasing because the system is culpable. The system is complicated. The system has been sabotaged to the extent that it cannot stop insecurity. These northerners have been able to find a way to sabotage the system, these northerners, to in their favor. That even though I told you that even Tinubu as president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces can never tell us that they don't know the sponsors of terrorism, Boko Haram. They cannot tell us they don't have intelligence. But you know why? They cannot stop it because of the structure, the system in place. They cannot stop it. If you think it's easy, go and try it. You see, now they now introduce a Sunday Igboho. Is Sunday Igboho more powerful than the Nigerian military? With all these Iruekun, are they more experienced? Are they more trained than our special forces? Sunday Igboho and his Iruekun. Why are they registering success up and down? I'm asking the question. Why are they registering success? Within how many weeks? It never reached 1 month. All of a sudden, you see, say, Fulani they don't clear for forest in the southwest. But we have the almighty Nigerian military with all the budget, the trillions of naira, with all the generals, the Minister of Defense, the entourage, with all these things. They could not stop the Boko Haram because there's a sabotage. The government can see 24 hours. If crime persists, let me say 1 week in any place, the government is either the government has a hand in it, or the government is looking the other way, or the government is benefiting from this security. So they introduce a third party to it, and all of a sudden it didn't die. They kidnap people in Igogo community, Sunday Igboho's community, in Igogo community. Sunday Igboho told the Fulani, I give you people 2 hours. 2 hours. The police have been there all this while. They have deployed police. There's a police station. Everybody is there. They have not been able to bring these guys out until they introduced the Sunday Igboho. You see, things change. It took another level. Now, Seyi Makinde as governor, despite the fact that the federal government said that we released the Orire kidnapped students and everything and teachers, Seyi Makinde is telling you that he needs an independent investigation. Independent investigation. Mind you, it is the government that went to say they released them. Okay, they were rescued. Not that they were rescued. Government Wahala. The system needs to be changed. That's what we are saying. We need to restructure it. Me personally, I don't believe that. I believe that they acted the one kind drama for that release of that's my personal. I'm not imposing it on you. So Makinde had a point. Say let them independent investigation, because the system itself is self-sabotaging. So the North will never, and this insecurity is of benefit to northern politicians. Look at the issue with one is it Gaidam and Ndume. This guy has been arrested by the DSS. He made a lot of allegations pointing to the fact that the government and the terrorists, the non-state actors in northern Nigeria, are on the same page. On the same page. He made these accusations that even northern politicians know very well about what is going on in the north. I told you that US cannot stop insecurity. There's nothing they can do. Tinubu cannot stop insecurity. It is in the hands of northern politicians and the northerners to make sure that they end insecurity, because they use the religion, Islamic ideology, lace hand with insecurity. ISWAP is going to establish a caliphate, a Muslim state. Boko Haram is against Western values. They are going to impose an Islamic state. ISWAP, ISIS also the same thing, which will favor the Sultan of Sokoto and his allies, his political allies. If they Islamize Nigeria today, these northerners, this is what they have been praying for. They will not come out and say it. Even in the south here, most of them, they pray that Boko Haram and others succeed. Some of these affairs in southwest, they will pray that Boko Haram will succeed. That's just the problem. So as it stands, in the south today, as we are measuring towards, don't be distracted. Don't let anybody distract you. Don't let anybody distract you. Me, anytime I look at the government of the day, I look at the southeast. What has not been happening in the past is happening in the southeast. What did not happen during the time of Buhari is happening in the southeast. So that should be my focus. I should not be focused on the politics that somebody is trying to play and tell me that this one, that one. No. In my state, you see the development that is going on. That is what I'm much more focused. I've been saying that our Igbo brothers should go back and build the southeast. That is the most important advice an Igbo man will give himself. But we know that some people, they have coconut head. You need to use hammer and break the head. Let the head come water. Before maybe in their grave, they will realize that they needed to focus on regional political development. The educational institutions in Igbo land, the political institutions in Igbo land, we need to start focusing on it and develop it before we cannot talk about moving towards the center. But this Tinubu's government, as you see it, the center, after he finishes his tenure as president, I'm telling you, the restructuring that is coming, I don't know how the North will fight him. But one thing I'm happy is that the North cannot gaslight anybody into joining them. If I say the North, I say the Fulani political cabals. I saw a video of Hausas protesting in the North. that they want political independence, sending the message to the powers that be, the powers that have caged them in northern Nigeria. You know, the Fulani hate the Igbos and Yorubas. They hate them because they are opening the eyes of the Hausas. If Fulani came to do a video, he said, we and Igbos, we are enemies, and other people in southern Nigeria, we are enemies. We are not the same. These Igbos, they will never get Biafra. Why are you hating on? It's because we did not allow your plans, your agenda to materialize in the southeast, south, and the southwest. That's why you are hating us. If you are hating us and if you hate us and our farms are secure, if you hate us and our resources, we use our resources to better our lives, we preserve our culture, our heritage, our history, our territory, you can keep on hating us and stay in your region with your hate, so that the hate will even consume you the more. You can see the hate in you can wear the hate as agbada or as dashiki. We are not concerned about so far. Why would you like us? This is our one Nigeria. A Fulani will come into Enugu community and start killing people because of one Nigeria. Because of one Nigeria, you come to Abia State and you come to the south. Look at the south. Look at how you put southwest into mourning. Your religious extremist ideas, your jihadism, introduced in the south. The Sultan of Sokoto the other time wanted to impose Sharia on the southwest, if not for the southwest Jews that change it for him. So that your like, please keep your like to yourself, because your existence in other people's communities has become a threat and terror. If Fulani comes to the community, all of a sudden he's looking for how he can be able to multiply himself and take over that community, impose his values, his beliefs on that community. If he has to kill, he will kill, but he wants to dominate. Why would you like us? You know, the Igbos in the Middle Belt, in Benue State and Jos, some people came out to say that we don't want Biafra, because if Biafra materializes, the Igbos will leave Benue, leave the Middle Belt, and go to their Biafra. And one of the reasons why the Fulani has not been able to wipe off communities in those Benue and whatever is because of the presence of the Igbos and other indigens, other Nigerians. The mixture of Igbos and other Nigerians is one of the reasons why the Fulani have not been able. So the Fulani will hate you if you want to restructure this country. They will hate you because, now look at Tinubu. For Tinubu to succeed in some of his policies, he made sure that he destroyed the Fulani politically. Because if he had not done what he did while he started his presidency, he will find it difficult to pass some of these bills and reforms. He will find it difficult. The Fulani will have staged a lot of political attacks on him. Look at the End Bad Governance protests. Let's go back to EndSARS 2020. We are protesting in Lagos, Abuja, but in the north they tell you that protest is haram. We don't protest here. We see that the protest is aimed at removing Buhari, blah blah blah. Now it reached Tinubu turn. The same north we say protest is haram. They can't carry protest for head. They carry Russian flag. They want scatter everywhere. You can see the hypocrisy of these guys. The hypocrisy. So Tinubu knew that he had to make sure he shut down. The first opposition was the Fulani political cabal and political parties, because the Fulani also had influence in political parties. Somehow the PDP, he made sure that he used Wike, he flushed all of them from PDP. That their top guys, they ran away from PDP. APC was not going to be conducive for them anymore after Buhari died. After Buhari died, he turned all of his Buhari followers, Buhari boys, to prodigal sons. They don't know what is next for them. They're just living by the grace of God. Those Buhari boys. Anyone that dare say want instigate people against the, see the way this Tinubu they play politics. Normally, activists are supposed to awaken the consciousness of people to fight for their right. You know what Tinubu will tell you they do? That you are inciting people, you are awakening the consciousness of people to fight for their rights, to stand for their rights. But the government will interpret it in a way whereby you are inciting the people against the government. So Tinubu knows the kind of politics he go use to put these guys in cage and bondage. And Akpabio is doing a wonderful work at the Nigerian Senate. I watched a plenary yesterday. The eyes were more than the nay. But Akpabio, you don't even allow the nay finish shouting nay. You don't say the nay have it. The eyes were more than the nay. But that nay, he was looking for the nay. Let the eyes have it. Many people, like 100 people, were saying, nay no reach 30 people. You don't know can say nay. You cannot contest. If you try to do anything, as in, not as they thought that they have that privilege they used to have before. They never knew that under Tinubu is a different political matter. It's a different thing entirely. So they try to use their northern privilege. When Akpabio showed them, say, if you think say they smile too much, that doesn't mean say he's not wicked. He showed them in wicked side. He has been able to contain them. The North had been contained in air. That is why any policy you see the state police bill. The North is trying to use back and front to fight it. But just watch. Make Tinubu enter second term. minutes second. You go here. And you see, if the North, either way, Tinubu is winning this election, 2027 election. Either ways. Because they are prepared for it. They are prepared for what will happen. Anything that will happen, we are prepared for it. If the North now, if the North show that it wants to really remove Tinubu in 2027, and they are not able to remove Tinubu in 2027, if the North and some of the politicians that are in the APC, if there is a suspicion that they worked against Tinubu in 2027, and Tinubu eventually wins that election, I can't say what will happen. I cannot see. I cannot even put my there. But I know that the North will be finished by 2027. So whatever is happening, if you are in any region, make sure you go back to your region and build politically. And make sure, because power is already made available. If there's a state police, if we pass the state police bill, in the southeast, indigenes will now constitute the state police. So we will not have any issue with Fulani. You know, the Nigerian police, the central police, the current Nigerian police, Fulani, they all of them, they as a DPO, as Oga for police. Before anything will happen, they will say, Oga for Abuja, call, release that guy. So that will not happen again. If you're a Fulani or anybody that wants to come and terrorize any state in the name of ISWAP or Boko Haram or ISIS or whatever it is the indigenes that will deal with you. It is not the sabotage, policing and security system that will deal with you. Now, there's a tax bill. States will now have to look inward and develop their state, increase IGR, Human Development Index. Then it will create a competitive economy in Nigeria. At the federal level, all those people, they do bureau de change, where they use our money, they sponsor terrorism. They are silencing them little by little. They shut them down. You see, the Naira, the free fall of the currency, he has taken a lot of BDCs out of market, out of business. A lot of them. And they are lamenting. I will end by saying this statement, making a statement. Any wise politician from any region would focus on developing his region. Now, focus on your governors, on your local government, focus on it. Strengthening your regional politics and also looking for alliance with similar interests that will benefit everybody. If you can do such, then whatever reforms that is coming, you need not complain about it.